Hello everyone, this is Atik and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing very well. And many times I receive this question from my audience in my channel to share my experience. How was my PhD journey in the United States when I pursued it at University of North Dakota? And I believe that this is a very legitimate question to ask. Because the reason behind it, PhD, unlike bachelor and master's degree, it's a very lengthy degree, and that's why you need to have a really very solid commitment in terms of both your energy and time. So before jumping into PhD, I firmly believe that it is very legitimate to have this concern or talk or consult with someone who went through the same route. So considering this idea, in today's video, I'm going to discuss and share my experience with you guys so that you can take your sensible decision in terms of pursuing PhD, or you should consider something else like Masters or Master of Engineering or other degree. Okay, so stick with me. So why I decided to come for PhD? Was it my childhood dream? No, absolutely not. So I was interested to study engineering, more specifically when I was 12th grade, 11th grade student. I was very interested to study aerospace engineering. That's why I chose this route, and I'm thankful to God He gave me the opportunity. Because during that time only Military Institute of Science and Technology, they offered the aerospace engineering, or what you know in Bangladesh, aeronautical engineering. Anyway, so after completing degree from there, as you know, in Bangladesh the aeronautical engineer job scope is not so broad, but I was fortunate enough to get my job in the airlines. I worked for Novo Air about 2 years and 8 months, but during that time I thought that I could do something better, so I decided to go for higher study. Now when it comes for higher study, I think most of the people are like me. They need a scholarship to pursue it in abroad, especially in the United States, because education is very expensive here. So when I came to know that for scholarship it is better to have, or it is better to apply for PhD, because for PhD program there is a good chance that you will get the funding or the scholarship. So based on that, and moreover, if you come to pursue your PhD in the United States or North American country like Canada, you are getting a very big degree without paying any money, because PhD is most of the time paid by the college or university, and moreover you are getting a very terminal degree in your life. So I thought that it's a very win-win situation. Let's go for PhD, get this terminal degree. And if you see in the whole world, probably only 2% of the people in the United States, among all people, I believe they have the PhD degree. Now it may vary, like in the New York East Coast or in the West Coast California side, we might have many PhD degree people, but if you compare the whole United States, not everywhere so much density of people that we have in East Coast and the West Coast. So anyway, that's why I thought that okay, going for PhD degree, it will be a life-changing event for my life, and I was right. Honestly, I was right. So having that in mind, back in 2018, fall 2018, I came to the United States. I joined the University of North Dakota to pursue my PhD in the mechanical engineering program. At the very beginning, I joined the department as a graduate teaching assistant. So what I did mean by that, beside my PhD research coursework, I had to do the grading, proctoring exam, and sometime taking the lab class for the undergrad student as a graduate teaching assistant, and that was one of my assignment, and I had to spend around 20 hours in a week for doing this job, and this is true for almost everyone. But the good thing is that if you start your work as a graduate research assistant, in that case you can get out of this burden of grading undergrad students scripts, assignment, and proctoring their exam. Anyway, I was happy with the graduate teaching assistant, and I was doing perfectly nice. So in terms of journey, if you join as a PhD student in the United States, initial first 2 years, I believe you will mostly spend time for enrolling many courses, grad level and also undergrad senior level courses. At the same time, you will spend good amount of time by reading research papers, making the literature review, and also finding out a research gap, which one you will pick as your research objective for the remaining of your PhD life. So you will need to go through a lot of research work previously done, and you have to find out the research gap. After talking with this gap with your supervisor, then combinedly you will come up with a research proposal based on which you will spend your time the next third and fourth and successively fifth year of your PhD. So first 2 years you will mostly take the coursework and you will do the literature review, find out the research gap. Actually in the third and fourth year especially you will heavily focused on your research, and by this time you will be done with your qualifying exam and also done with your required coursework. So that time, third year and fourth year, you will mainly heavily focus on your research. Ideally, you will write some conference paper and also some journal papers. You will visiting conference, present your work there. So third year, fourth year, you will mostly spend time on like this. In the fifth year, around fifth year, probably your supervisor or PhD supervisor will have some requirement. Okay, to get your PhD degree, you will need 2 journal paper or 3 journal paper. Once you will be completed with submitting this manuscript to the journal and you will have an initial acceptance, then your supervisor or PhD professor may tell you to start writing your thesis draft. Then around 5th year you will start writing your thesis draft, you will submit it to your professor, and then based on his or her approval you will go for your thesis defense, and once thesis defense is done and if you pass the defense, essentially you will go for the graduation. So that's how it works. It happened same for me, but only difference is that throughout my entire PhD life, most of the time I was working as a graduate teaching assistant before joining Boeing, 3.5 years when I was in the grad school. This is because my professor didn't have any designated money to conduct the research and appoint me as a research assistant. The funding that she had, it was related to biomedical research, and I wasn't interested about that. So I thought that it is better to work as a graduate teaching assistant than become a graduate research assistant, have some relax now and suffer in future, because I do not have any interest about to pursue my career in the biomedical industry. I am very happy with aerospace. Aerospace is a fascinating field. So I think that I took the right decision, even though I had to put some extra effort for working as a graduate teaching assistant, which I might not have to do if I could choose the biomedical research track that for which my professor had the funding, and also it could reduce some of my burden during that time. But anyway, I took the right decision. So there are many pros of doing PhD in the United States. Like as I said, it's a terminal degree, so you should be always proud of having the terminal or the highest degree in your life. Then you will get a good amount of time, at least 5 to 6 years to spend in the United States. By this time you will get accustomed with the culture and everything here, and your research profile, your resume will be nice. Based on that you can apply for national interest waiver green card, by which you can get the residency of the United States and later you can become citizen. So numerous opportunity of doing PhD. On the con side, I can say it takes longer time and it will take a significant portion of your time from your youth, but trust me, if you can do it well, it's rewarding. You will never regret for it, unless you are really unlucky. Anyway, I believe and I pray for you, you will be lucky. Okay, so what I could expect more during my PhD time, actually I do not have any complaint. What I got, I am very happy for that. I am thankful to God Almighty. If the only thing that I didn't expect it, because I went to the University of North Dakota, and North Dakota is very extremely cold place. Most of the time of the year you will see the snow accumulation. So if there was not that much snow, I would be very happy. But life is always balanced. God always balances. Now I am in a place in the Los Angeles, California, where I am not seeing any sort of snow throughout the last 3 years. So that's how life balances. So it's not a complaint. But if there was a little bit less ice accumulation, it would be nice for me. Anyway, now another thing is that what is the most important thing to check for doing your PhD? I think is the two things. Many students, they spend many times for finding out the top rank college, top rank university, but I believe this is not that much important in the United States. Your personal skill is more important than your college name. What is most important for PhD is your research area and your supervisor or professor. I believe supervisor is even most important thing that you can look for, because it's a one man army show, you and your supervisor. So he is the prime person to decide whether you will get the degree or not, and you are the only one person who will work day and night to get your degree. So from both sides, it's a one-man show. Hence, getting a supportive supervisor, kind-hearted and good human being supervisor is extremely lucky. Most of the time I cut the jokes. Uh, Getting a PhD supervisor good is some way like comparable to getting an arranged marriage. So if it is good, if you got the good bride or groom for your arranged marriage, everything is nice. But if it is bad, everything is bad. Same thing goes for PhD. If your supervisor is good, your experience will be excellent. Thanks God, I had a very good experience. But if your supervisor is bad, your life will be hell. Anyway, so try to pick out a good supervisor. Talk with the people, those who are already studying there or working in that supervisor team, to know about what types of person he or she is. This will helpful for you. And try to find out a research area that you really feel interested about, and try to utilize all the opportunity and pick a research area that really fascinates you and have good market demand. Like nowadays, artificial intelligence, and for mechanical aerospace side, I would say composite materials, smart materials, these are in really good demand. So or finite element analysis, these are really good track to follow. So try to keep yourself updated and find out a good research area, and also choose a very good human being or a good professor as your supervisor. This will help you a lot. So I believe you got a good idea about, or a little bird's eye view about my experience during my PhD time in the United States when I went for University of North Dakota. If you have any further question, feel free to drop a comment below. I will try to answer your all query with my given limited amount of time, but I will try my level best. I will see you in the next video. Till then, have fun and have a nice rest of the day. Bye bye.